You got hit and it wasn't your fault. But now the insurance company is avoiding your calls, dragging you through what seems like an extremely long process and asking you a lot of confusing questions. And you probably tried to handle your case on your own because it seems like such an easy case. The other driver is obviously at fault. And now you're here chasing updates from the insurance company, only getting lowball offers and feeling deep down that, am I about to get screwed here? And in Texas, if you miss a deadline or accidentally say the wrong thing, you could be losing out on the money that you are legally entitled to. My name is Max the Axe, the gold standard in personal injury. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what happens in the claims process when you're not at fault for a car accident. We're going to go over some of the biggest examples where people accidentally hand the insurance company an excuse to pay less money. Stick with me to the end because we're going to talk about one helpful comment that people always say that ends up costing them about half of their settlement check. All right, let's start at the beginning. Number one, what you do right after a car accident matters later. Even when you're in a car accident that's obviously not your fault, the first hour after the crash is the most important time. First thing, handle safety properly and call 911. Then make sure that you get a written police report. In Texas, the police report is a neutral, objective way that writes down the facts. Who was involved, where did it take place, and when. Without this police report, it can become a guessing game where you have to rely on one person's word over another. While you're waiting for the police to arrive, take a few photos with your phone, or maybe some videos. Take photos of the visible property damage on the outside of the cars, take photos of the license plate, take photos of the drivers. Take photos of the cars and where they're positioned. Take photos of the visible property damage on the outside of the cars. Take photos of the scene, any nearby intersections, and even the people involved. And if there's someone else there that saw the crash happen, an independent fact witness, make sure that you get their information. So many times, these super important witnesses come to the scene, they help people out, but then they leave without ever giving their name or phone number. These independent witnesses can be the make or break witnesses for your case. The final thing at the scene is don't apologize and don't speculate. Even if you're saying, I'm sorry just to be polite, these words can get twisted around later by the insurance company. So just stick to what you know for sure. Now, after the crash, a lot of people make a bad assumption. They think, well, I'm not at fault for the crash, obviously, so I don't need to contact my own insurance. That's very wrong. That leads us to the next step. Yes, you still tell your own insurance. Even when the other driver is clearly the one at fault, you still have to notify your own insurance. Not because you're accepting any blame, but because it protects your options. If the other driver's car insurance decides to drag their feet, your own car insurance might be the only way to keep life going by helping cover some repair bills or some medical bills or other parts of your insurance. This doesn't mean that you're at fault, and it doesn't mean that your insurance rates are going to go up. When you call your insurance, just keep it to the basics. You don't have to guess about who's at fault or speculate about any injuries that you don't know about. Simply say, this is what happened, here's where it happened, and here's who it happened with. Now comes the part that most people think will be quick, the claim against the other driver. 3. The third-party claim and the recorded statement trap. When you file a claim with the other driver's auto insurance, they will usually start investigating. And what that often means is that they try to lock you into certain words. They'll call you up and they'll sound extremely friendly. They're going to say something like, hey, can we just get your side of the story real quick on a recorded statement? But here's the truth. In most cases, you should not give a recorded statement. This is true especially if you have not talked to a lawyer first. It's not because you're trying to hide something, it's because you don't know yet what the full picture looks like. You don't know what your body is going to feel like in a few days. You don't know what the doctors are going to say about your health and your condition. And you don't know what it's going to look like 6 months from now, where you might need a lot more invasive medical treatment. The problem is that these recorded statements are permanent. If you don't know your injury yet and you try to minimize it, that will be used against you later to prove that you were never hurt or not hurt that badly from this crash. But if you're looking for a one-liner script to say to the insurance company, try this. I don't want to give a recorded statement right now. I'm still getting checked out and getting legal advice. That's it. Fine, calm, firm, and you're done. Now let's talk about two things that everybody cares about: car repairs, and medical bills, what people get wrong. For the car, the at-fault insurance company will either offer to repair the car and pay for it, or they're going to give you the cash value for the total loss of the vehicle. But either way, no matter what they offer you, don't assume that the first offer is actually a fair offer. And also, don't just rush through the repair process so fast that you lose leverage. If your adjuster wants photos or an inspection done first, slow down and take care of that first and foremost. For medical bills, here's a big mistake. A lot of people just think that the other driver's insurance company is going to take care of it. And this process can take forever. If you have your own health insurance, you can use it. If you have your own coverage on your own policy that helps with the medical bills, you should use it. But whatever you do, make sure that you keep everything documented. Every doctor that you go to, every date that you saw the doctor, keep everything. And another important thing, don't skip any of the appointments with the doctors because you're afraid of how it looks. These missed appointments, or what insurance companies call gaps in treatment, are the first thing that these insurance companies look at to say that you're not really hurt because you didn't go to the doctor when you should have. Now, even when everything seems clear, the insurance company still uses these delay tactics. Now, let's talk about what's actually happening when they delay and lowball. Number 5, why they stall, even when you're not at fault. A lot of people think that not at fault means easy. They think that, well, the other driver rear-ended me. It couldn't be any more clear than that. When actually, it gets a lot more complicated, even on the cases that seem very obvious. Insurance companies delay because it creates pressure. Pressure makes people settle on the cheap. The insurance company will also try to shift as much blame onto you as they possibly can. Then they will argue that because you're partially at fault, they can cut down how much money they give you. And if they can make it seem like you're more than 50% at fault for the wreck, they can wipe out your settlement completely. That's why these offhand comments that you make in a recorded statement matter so much. These short phrases like, "I'm fine," "I didn't see the other person coming," or "it all happened so fast." When you say these things, you're not lying, you're just acting like a normal person. But the adjuster writes it down like it's an admission. So the rule is, don't guess, don't minimize, and don't try to fill in the blanks. Just stick to the facts. Now let's hit the point about the deadlines, because that is where people get blindsided. The deadline that can kill your case. In Texas, you generally have 2 years from the date of the accident to file a lawsuit. If that window closes, then your claim is dead, even if liability is obvious. So don't let the insurance company slow talk you and make time the enemy. And one more thing, don't post about the accident online. Not one comment, not one photo. Not "I'm okay," not gym selfies. Insurance companies scour all pieces of your social media to look for anything that they can twist into their favor. Now, here's the last question. When do you call a lawyer? And here is the clean answer. When it's time to get help. If you're truly not hurt and it's just minor damage, you'll probably be able to handle everything on your own. But if you're injured, getting lowballed, missing work, or being pushed into doing recorded statements, that's really when you need legal advice. Because once a lawyer is involved, the whole game changes. The insurance company knows that they can't just pressure you into a lowball settlement and make you go away. Most Texas injury cases are based on a contingency fee, which means that you don't have to pay any attorney's fees up front. And the whole point is to take the stress off of you so that your case can get handled in the right way while you focus on your health and your medical treatment. Your next steps. So if you're not at fault and your case is turning into a mess, here's what I want you to do. First, slow it down, get checked out, and document what you can. Always be careful of what you say, and don't get bullied into taking a recorded statement. Now, if you want to avoid the single biggest mistake that Texans make after a wreck, you're going to want to watch my next video. It's called "The Wrong Move That Could Destroy Your Car Accident Injury Claim," speaking to an insurance company before talking to a lawyer. I'm going to walk you through exactly what not to say, what to do instead, and how to keep the insurance company from using your own words against you. Please check out that video, and I'll see you over there.